Hello there, Stephanie Cameraman, the Stock Whisperer, here to tell you the Dark Pool Weekly Whispers for July 9th, 2018. But before we get to this week's Whispers, let's go over last week's Whispers. If you had followed all of these Whispers, you would have had 39% ROI in just 4 days. It was a shortened week, and 12 of them did hit their targets. AU, definitely one of the best picks last week. 6% gain, hit that 840 target. ABX, gold was hot. ABX hit that unusual dark pool activity at $12.70. Hit our 1350 target. The short on silver hit our 850 target. Also, PBR was a great trade. The short on AMAT hit the target. We had that unusual activity on the Latin America ETF, ILF, and that was a powerhouse move that happened this week. Hit our 3050 target, went higher to 3080. PayPal was a great trade. MGM. If you miss these trades, don't worry, because guess what? Got a whole bunch of new trade setups for you this week, so let's get started. Let's start with the SPY. I always like to go over the major indexes, specific levels to watch. It was a tough week last week. You can see it's like that railroad tracks, down, up, down, up, down, up. So if you had a tough time, all right, it wasn't you, it was the market. The week before was amazing for the major indexes. We had a downward trend move, but last week was definitely choppy. But by the end of the week, Thursday, Friday, we started to open up. We had a great day in the trading room. Just want to tell you about the trader of the week this week. Leslie, we call her the golden glider cannabis girl. She was smoking hot. She was trading oil, particularly last week, the futures. So nice trading, Leslie. All right, so what are we watching this week? We're watching the SPY 275.73 level. This is such a key level. We went right to it pretty much. This is an old dark pool level. Really big, 24 million dark pool activity in the past. So really key level. If we can close above that, then I have targets 277.50. 278 is the top end of this channel. To this channel trend line. And that should be resistance. Let's go to the Russell. The Russell, going to be bullish above 168, and I'm going to be bearish below 166. I've drawn these purple lines to be bullish above, bearish below. Always like to be prepared on both sides, okay? If we do get a reversal, I definitely want to know those levels where we'll become bullish below the dark pool activity. So bearish below 166 for IWM. DIA. Yeah, I really like this chart. 245 is such a key level. If we can break above that, I could see 246, 247.50, all the way up to 250. Just know that at each of these levels, there's going to be computers selling, so we usually hit and pull back. 246.25 is a couple moving averages right over there. And I'm going to be bearish below 243. Let's move on to the VT. This is an ETF that has Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Google, JP Morgan, which has earnings on Friday, ExxonMobil, Johnson & Johnson. We had big dark pool activity, an 800,000 unusual print. You can see the volume spike on Friday. So we're going to be bullish above 74.25. And we're going to be bearish below 73.50. Let's go to the dollar. If you recall last week, I let you guys know about that huge print on the dollar ETF at 26.63. You can see the volume spike. Now just remember, when we get these big prints, we get a splash. A lot of times it'll splash in the opposite direction and then move down. As soon as we went and closed below 26.63. You can see on this candle we closed at 26.60. That is bearish. They're no longer buying, and you can see we have this big pull down in the dollar. I don't expect you to trade USDU, but use that to trade gold in particular. We had some really big prints on the miners. GDXJ. We had dark pool activity at $33.51. Actually 41 cents. Yep. 33.41. So I'm going to be bullish above 33.50. All right, you can see I drew these trend lines. This is really key. You can see we came up and hit this upper trend line. Sellers came in this week. If we could break above that, then there's room to go to 34. Going to be uber bullish above 34, and that would mean that we would most likely go to the top of this channel. That would be my high-end resistant targets. And I'm going to be prepared on both sides. So I would be bearish below 33, and then we would move to the down part of that channel most likely. IAU, this is the dark pool favorites. This is so key. If you recall, we had those huge prints back here in the 1240 level. I was only bullish above 1255. That's an old dark pool level. We hit it, could not break above it, then came down. As soon as we broke below that heavy dark pool activity, that was bearish for gold. Well, guess what? We got huge, massive prints once again on IAU. This time, $12.04. So I don't trade IAU. It's really slow, but I watch the levels and I trade. I'm going to be trading the miners. The miners have been leading. GDX, GDXJ. Definitely prefer that over GLD right now. But I will go over all the levels. But this is so key to watch IAU, 1204 in particular. So going to be bullish above, and with each level that we go above, I will become more bullish. So the next level is the 8th level, right? 1212. If we could break above that, bullish. But 1224 is an old dark pool level, so I expect to have resistance if we get there. If we can break above that, right? 1255. If we were to break above 1255, I would become the biggest bull on Wall Street when it comes to gold. So these are just really key levels. However, if it's more selling, okay, then I'm going to be bearish below 12, bearish below 1187. That's the next 8th down. Uber bearish. So watch those levels really carefully. Let me just go to GDX as well. So GDX, we're going to be bullish above $22.80. This is a really key level. We've broken above this trend line, which is really key. Sometimes we'll retest the breakout before moving higher. But 22.80 is a key level. Target would be 23.50. And I will become uber bearish if we break below 22.31. That's the dark pool activity. 3 million printed there for GDX, so key level. Let's go to ABX, because this was a great trade this week. We had unusual activity at 1270. It hit that 1350 target. You can see the sellers came in there. So this week, you know, we'd have to close above this. If you're a swing trader, these levels apply to closing prices. So at the end of the day, last 10 minutes, see if they're above these levels. Yeah, then I'm bullish. As a day trader, you can trade and day trade off of them. So that's how you use these levels. But ABX 1350 is so key. If we can close above that, 1380 would be my target. And I would be bearish below 1320. That's the 8 exponential moving average. And this is really key for trend. So the highest probability trades that you can take with the dark pool is if we're above the 8 exponential moving average and we're above the prints. That is uber bullish. If we are below the 8 exponential moving average on a daily chart and below the prints, that's when you want to go short. You know, when you have everything working in your favor, that's really, really key. So keep that in mind. UGLD, that's another gold stock. We had big prints on UGLD. Going to be bullish above 950, really key level. And I'm going to be bearish below 925. Let's go to copper and gold, I should say. FCX, Freeport. You guys spotted the biggest print I've ever seen. 2.6 million. I did see a 2.5 million print that Steven in my room called to my attention from a couple of months ago. So thank you, Mr. Sinatra. FCX. Keep your eye on this. We were trading this on Friday. Amazing trade. The print happened at $16 and, oh, I forgot to put that in here, and 96 cents. Good thing I memorized these things. $16.96. Really key. And you can see that we broke above it and closed above it. $17.50 is such a key level. Let me just show you. Yeah, let me just show you this chart here. Yeah, we really need to break above this upper trend line. Okay, this is really key. If we can break above there, we're above the prints. That's always bullish. But again, if we could just break above this trend line, there's so much room to go with no traffic. So that's the trade that I'm ultimately looking for. However, if we do come down, we close below that 1696 level. Going to be bearish below 1687. Then my target would be 1650 to the downside, 1625 area, and of course we would most likely go to the bottom of this channel. So those are key levels to watch for Freeport. But again, big prints have big moves, so keep your eye on that. AKS. Now this stock, steel, has been in a sideways consolidation. And you can make money in a sideways consolidation, buying at the bottom, selling at the top. You can see it's been boomeranging back and forth. However, we did get prints. It can't go sideways forever. It's either going to go and find an upward trend or break down and continue to the downward side. But we did have big prints on it at $4.47. So the trade this week, I would be bullish above 462. Target would be 475, 480, and 487. If we did break above here, above 5, if we get more prints, then I would become uber bullish on that. But that's definitely a great trade to look at this week. Silver. So let's check out the chart on silver. Yeah, going all the way out. So here's where we're at it. Yeah, it hasn't been too pretty for silver. We got some prints this week at 1506. And so I'm really going to be bullish only above 1537. I'd really like to see it. I mean, I'm obviously always bullish above the prints, but it's pretty ugly. We really need to break above this channel here. Yeah, we need to go up and break above this line here, 1537, for me to really get bullish on the silver trade once again. I'm going to be bearish below 15. If we break down below that print, look out below. And let me just go out on the chart so you can see if I can even, yeah. So we could go as low as 14 here on this downward trend. Yeah, if things get ugly. So keep your eye on those levels. Now, I always like to go along the strongest silver stock, which is Pan American Silver. SLV is very slow. PAAS is really key, this 1850 level. If we could break above that, we have a lot of room to the upside for PAAS. Bullish above 1850, so target 1875 and 19. Okay, so let's switch gears to oil. Yeah, oil. We've had massive prints on DBO, which I'm going to go over in a minute. But USO, here we are, just in the bigger picture. You can see we're still trading in this channel here. We could not break above that. Last week we hit resistance. And let me just zoom out again. On this top channel trend line. This is so key, right? We have a top here. Oops. a top here, and a top here. Now we had big prints recently, but we really need to break above here for another big move up in oil. So those are really key levels to watch. I'm going to be bullish above $15.25. I'm going to be bearish below $14.50. If it's selling, we're going to break down and go to the bottom of this channel. So we had dark pool activity on USO this week between $14.85 and $14.99, and it still hasn't made the move. But we must go and look at DBO because this is the dark pool favorite, and we had massive prints last week. We had a little bit of a splash, but we haven't had the big move that we're going to have off those ginormous prints. Okay, ginormous. So key levels still going to be bullish above 1250, and I'm going to be bearish below 1220. And then of course, if we break below 12, uber bearish. Okay, we'll go down to about this 1180 level. But if we break above 1250, I can see us going to the top of this channel. This is a really key trend line right here. If we break above that, that's where the big trade is going to happen with oil. But of course, don't have to trade DBO. It's very slow. There's a gazillion ways you can trade oil. LPI is one of them. Laredo Petroleum. This one, unusual, 1.5 million at $9.50. So this is unusual. Look at the volume that came in on Friday. Yeah, I'm pretty excited because we are at the top of this trend line. I'm going to just zoom out a little bit so you can see the trend lines I drew. And this is where we are. Now I'm going to zoom in. If we can break above this trend line here, there's a lot of room to go to the top of this channel, but we're going to have some resistance wherever this 200 moving average is, which is 10. So that would be my first target, pullback, and then we would go to the top of the channel. If it's buying, if it's selling, we're going to move to the bottom of this channel, but we'll always have little stoplights wherever these moving averages are. So $9 would be my target, $8.80, and then of course $8.50, and so forth. So let's go to PBR. That is oil in Brazil. And guess what, you guys? Emerging markets heating up. Tons of prints. I'm excited to tell you about that in a moment. But let's just go over PBR. This was a great trade last week. Hit our target. This week, we got prints between 1043 and 1055. So we're going to be bullish above 1075. And here is a gap in the chart. There's a little one right here. So, you know, usually they pull it up there, hit it, pull back, and then fill the gap in. But the key level, 1075, and bearish below 10. If it starts to pull down and breaks below 10, I'll become bearish on PBR. All right, let's move on to banks. Big week, you guys. Be careful. Friday before the open, we have earnings on Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, and, Bank of America. We have earnings on those three. I'm sorry, Citibank. My bad. Not Bank of America. Let me just fix that. Citibank. Bank of America is the next week with Goldman Sachs. So a lot of big banks earnings coming up. So be very careful, especially if you're going to trade options. The IVs are inflated. I love to day trade the stocks during earnings season. Swing trading is definitely going to have a higher risk. You know, it's gambling. If you're going to try to guess if it's going to be good or bad. Yeah, it's been pretty ugly for the bank stocks. You can see all these charts, right? Have been in a downward trend. Look at Goldman Sachs. The market is, you know, really strong, but the bank stocks, you know, have not done well. So This is so key. They're the first guys to come out with earnings, and the pattern usually prevails throughout the entire earnings season. For example, if the bank earnings are good, and again, I don't care if they're good or bad. Let's just say the numbers are bad, okay? But the stocks like them. They close positive. That is a very bullish sign. Or let's say the earnings are good, whatever they are, but the stocks don't like it. They close negative. They go from positive to negative. Uber bearish, okay? If they go from negative to positive, uber bullish. Don't try to be an analyst, right? Just follow the prints and follow the trend, follow what the stock is doing. This is going to be so key to the entire earnings season. So we had big prints on XLK this week. And so I'm going to be bullish above 70. I'm sorry, wrong stock, XLF. I'm going to be bullish above 27 for XLF. Okay, we had big prints that came in at 26.59 to 26.66, about 8 million, really heavy. You can even see that the volume increased here. All right, we've been in a sideways consolidation. So if it's buying, we should break above 27, and then we would most likely go to the top of this channel and then possibly here. Or if things are not good, we're going to break below 26.37. I'll be bearish below that, and we would move to the bottom of this channel. And then, of course, if we broke below that, things would get really ugly. So these are key levels to watch, especially after the earnings come out. All right, these are definitely going to be key, but we could have a big move this week before. So I love to trade it before and after the earnings. But here's one we don't normally get big prints on in the financial industry. Banco Bradesco. Yeah, BBD. 2.5 million prints at $7.07. So I'm going to be bullish above 725. Target would be 750 and 8. And I'm going to be bearish below 7. My target would be 650. Look how ugly this chart is. This has been really ugly, but it does look, right, like things are turning. We have this rounded bottom. This is usually short covering at this side. We usually make a lower low to stop out everybody. And then you want to see volume excel on this part of the rounded bottom. So definitely keep your eye on BBD. I love this one. Yeah, if we can break above those levels, that would be confirmation. Okay, now let's go to the tech. Jumped ahead of myself before. XLK. We had a big print on Friday. $70.23. 1.5 million. This is a great trade. I did call this out. And we're going to be bullish this week above 71. If we can break above 71, target's going to be 72. That's the top of this channel. I'm going to just zoom out so you can see those channel lines. Yeah, we're usually going to go and hit our head there. And then if we could break above 72, then we would go to the top of that channel. But this is really key to watch this week. And I'm going to be bearish below 70. If we turn around for some reason and we go below the print, below 70, then I would turn bearish for that. Let's move to emerging markets because they have been getting hammered. Okay, but look at this massive volume that came in on VWO, the emerging market ETF, Brazil, Russia, India, China. We had massive 13.5 million prints, which is unusual for this one, at $41.40. Let's zoom in. So you can see we closed above that. And so I'm going to be bullish as long as we stay above those prints. However, if we go below it, I'm going to turn bearish. Don't hold these things when you're on the wrong side of the tape. Because again, sometimes they do have a big splash. And sometimes we could get the direction wrong at first. But reverse and always stay on the right side. My best trades, you guys, are the ones I got wrong at first. took a small loss, reversed, and had a huge trade. But if you hold on to them, hoping and guessing they're going to come back, that's not trading. All right, that's praying. So please make sure you're always on the right side of the tape. And it's okay if you get it wrong at first. You got in early. Yeah, you know what? The best advice I can give you is trade yesterday's prints. Trade last week's prints, because you'll avoid that first initial splash and then it runs. So a lot of times also we'll go and retest the print. And when we do that, that's when you want to pay attention. If we go down, retest the buy print, and they're still buying and it starts to move up again, that's when I want to go in on the long side. If we go down and retest the buy print, but it doesn't hold, that's when I want to go short. Those have been my best entries. If you're in my trading room, you see me doing that. You know, every day I do that. So these levels are great for confirmation, but if we do have a retest, watch that very carefully, okay? Those are your best entries because your risk is really small and your reward is really big. So VWO, going to be bullish above 42 and bearish below 41.25. Germany had some really big prints as well, EWG. And I'm going to be bullish above $30.75. I'm going to just zoom out here so you can see this trend line that I drew. Yeah, this is where we're at. So this is such a key moment. Are we going to break up or are we going to break down? All right, stocks love to trade in channels. You have the A channel. You have the B channel. You have the C channel. All right, so right now we're in the B channel. If we can break above that, then we'll enter the C channel. And that's really key when it comes to trading, is to learn how to draw these trend lines. I start from the top and touch all the peaks. I touch all the dips on the bottom. As long as you have two, okay? Two candles. Here's one right here, and here's two. You have a trend line. If you have three, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you have a trend line. The more touches you have, the stronger the trend line. But it only takes 2 to form a trend line there. But always start from the bottom and then go to the top and then fill it in. All right, so EWG, trade set up bullish above 30.75, bearish below 30. And China, FXI, major prints on China. We have bullish above 42.75. All right, that's really key here. And I have all my targets, 43, 43.50, 44. Bearish below on China, 42. All right, my target would be 41.50 because we had big dark pool prints at $42.21. And you can see it's been consolidating. When is this going to move? When the dark pool is done. Sometimes they're done with their trade quicker and we'll have a movement, and other times they're not. If we keep seeing big prints coming in, they're not done entering at that same level. When they're done, that's when they're going to move it. Okay, I know a lot of people ask me that question. It's different every time. You got to be a little bit patient. All right, SCHE, another emerging markets ETF with massive prints. Can you guys see a pattern here? Yeah, really heavy prints on these guys. This one, top holdings are Baba, TSM, Baidu, and China Mobile. So the dark pool happened, 1.2 million at $25.76. We're above it, but we got to break above this 26 this week for confirmation. And I'll only be bearish below 25.40, okay? Let's go to my favorite, AT&T. I love trading AT&T. And we had, like, insane prints that came in, especially on Friday. But this whole week, we've had about 9 million of these huge block trades, altogether adding to 9 million. But between $32.18, and we tested that print. That's when I entered this week, if you were in my trading room. I called that out. And then we had big prints going all the way to 3270, 75 area. And every time we hit that area, they pulled it back down. And then we had big prints at 3250, huge ones. They were playing print bong from 3250 here to 32. Let me just show you the daily. I want to show you a 5-minute chart. Yeah, for a second. It was print pong on Friday. Okay, here was the 70, 75, and then the 50. The 50 level, we had a 2 million print here, and this is an old level also for AT&T. And every time it hit the 70 level, you can see the sellers were there. Okay, so it was like a battle between the algos. And let me just go back to the daily chart. All right, so this is so key. We really need to clear and close above that for me to say, hey, it's buying. If we break below 32, I will turn uber bearish on AT&T. So those are really, really key levels. Let's go to TLT. This has been a huge winner. 2 weeks ago, I called out those enormous prints coming in on the bond market. AGG, BND, IEF, BNDX, TLT. We had a whole assortment of bond prints. And look at this move we've had. It's been amazing. So 122.50 was a little bit of resistance for TLT. I love it if it could break above 123. All right, this is a really key level. If we could do that, 124, 125 are my key levels. Now let's go to IEF. You guys remember those secret signal prints that we had on it in June? I know, crazy. They're still there. 104 and 105 are the levels. Now this is slow. Okay, so I'm not trading IEF, I'm trading TLT. Those have the best options. But it's going to move in tandem with IEF. And so IEF we had pretty big prints on. 3.6 million this week between 102.33, 102.66. So going to be bullish above 102.75. If we move above that, confirmation it's buying and confirmation that we could possibly go up and hit these secret signal targets. So stay tuned for that. Let's go to ABA. AABA. Massive prints coming in on this. This was in my weekly whisper last week. And we have a possible gap fake out trade. Right? Here's the gap. And they like to take it to the gap, pull back, and then fill the gap in. Possibility. But we had massive prints. So going to be bullish above 75. As long as it stays above 75, I love ABA. Okay. Target 75, 75, 76, 76.50, and 78 for that gap fake out. Let's go to Oracle. This was another insane trade in the room this week. Wow, we had those big prints that came in this week. I did tweet that out at $44.80. We bought really cheap options. I know I bought mine at 9 cents in the room and selling them for 50, 60 cents on Friday. This is how we like to trade the dark pool prints. You know, you want to catch the option chain off guard. So I still like this. We had a lot of prints that came in on Friday, but these are the new levels this week. Going to be bullish above 46.25. And my target would be 46.50 and 47. There's that gap fake out trade again, right? We'll most likely move before this here. Here's the gap, right? And they love to do that. Move to that level before it, pull back, and then possibly go. But massive prints, unusual. Let's go to the next one. We have 2 more left. SPY-G. Now, this ETF has Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Visa, United Health, Home Depot, Boeing. Big dark pool activity, 1.9 million. Unusual, $35.26. I did tweet this out. So hopefully you guys got into this. And as you know, even if you don't trade the CTF, one of these, these stocks moved up, especially the tech stocks on Friday had a really big move. But if not, the next level up is 36. Okay, if it, it's going to hit there, most likely be resistance, pull back. The second test, if it breaks through, that's when you want to enter. The first time computers are lined up to sell at those major levels. And last but not least, Valet. We're going to be bullish above 13. Now, if you recall, right, ILF last week, this is Latin America. And this one has Valet in it. And massive print, unusual volume that came in last week. So I love trading Valet. So this week going to be bullish above 13. We had big dark pool between 1277, 1290. And targets would be 1325 and 1350. So there you have it. Those are the dark pool weekly whispers. But don't worry, we're going to get even more. All week long I'm going to be tweeting out all the unusual activity that are coming in on the block trades in the dark pool. So until next time, you guys, happy trading.
That's my secret. Can you keep it? My secret. My secret.